Alright, yo, my people, I miss y'all. Episode 4. I'm gonna start getting way more consistent, trust me. But y'all ain't even tripping on that right now. I ain't even got no fans right now, but I miss y'all. I love doing this. We're gonna start off episode 4. We're promoting the 2-year march. AMP in my city had a 2-year march promoting, or they weren't promoting, they were raising awareness for the Israel-Palestine situation. And the peace deal got struck, which we're going to talk about next. But at the time of this march, it hadn't yet been official. And so they was just out there reminding people that it's still going on. You know, we can't forget. We got to give up the fight. And so this is the video that I shot for real quick. It's only 1:30, so I'm going to play it for y'all real quick.
Israeli policies are to blame for the starvation crisis now unfolding.
Man, hold on. Let me ask Grok. More evidence of Israelis killing Palestinians. Quantitatively and qualitatively, over 10,000 Palestinian deaths versus 1,300 Israeli deaths. UN and Salem reports. Damn.
Genocide.
So at the moment, the United States is aiding and embedding a genocide.
These guys will burn in hell.
I mean, I think any city has the numbers. It really is just about spreading awareness.
We're demanding a ceasefire as well as an arms embargo on Israel.
We begin with breaking news out of the Middle East, where after more than 2 years of war, Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of a peace plan that should see the release of all remaining hostages in Gaza in exchange for Palestinian prisoners and the withdrawal of Israeli forces to, quote, agreed upon lines.
All right, so the deal got struck and you heard all of the contingencies in place for said deal. And I got them bullet pointed here. If y'all want to go support the people who put on that march, AMP Toledo is their Instagram. They follow all of the Palestinian information and Israeli and all that stuff. But like I said, the Israelis have to leave Gaza. The Palestinians have to restructure their government. No Hamas. But these are the two things that I really want to talk about, because those are just the ones that you can imagine, the deals. And of course, there's a lot of other behind the scenes stipulations that we don't get to see. And those are the things that really caused the deal to fall into places, the stuff that we don't know about. That all that rest of the stuff that we got told was the stipulations they are, but this is the big thing. So like I said, there's a lot of transactions and deals that happen that, you know, are actually what made it come to fruition. But another thing that happened that was, you know, just so conveniently timed was the Peace Prize was getting awarded the same week that this deal got struck. And more specific, let me phrase that the opposite way. Conveniently, this deal got struck the same week that the Nobel Peace Prize was getting awarded. Like, bruh, again, it's obvious what happened here. He was campaigning for so long that he deserved to get the Nobel Peace Prize, and if he stopped this war, then he deserved it. And so conveniently, the war gets, and it's not even stopped, because literally like a day or two after the ceasefire got, or the quote unquote peace deal got signed, they violated it. And it was somebody, Israel attacked some station of the Palestinians or whatever. So, some issue happened. I should have had the link to whatever it was saved for you. But yeah, it doesn't even look like it's an actual peace deal. It doesn't even look like it's gonna hold up. It was just for show, basically. Like this whole administration is. Everything's for show. Everything's a photo op, and, you know, trying to ulterior motives and all that stuff. So that's what's going on with that. This is going to be kind of a short, quick episode. I'm not going to hang on to these topics too much today, specifically, mainly because I'm about to go to work in a few, but but yeah, the shutdown, obviously we got to talk about that because it's bruh, it's so much wrong with why that this is happening. Okay, so let's just walk through it real quick, right? What it means is ain't a lot of people in the government ain't working right now. Obviously, it's shut down, and the ones that are working for free. They ain't getting paid, right? And what's supposed to happen when these things happen is whenever it opens back up, you get back pay for all the time that you weren't paid. But he's talking about that might not even happen for whatever reason. I don't know. And he's also talking about a lot of programs are going to get cut, and he's specifically making them Democratic programs, obviously, but who's affected? The people who aren't getting paid and who might not get paid, the people who aren't working and aren't getting paid, and a lot of people who get government subsidies and programs like the food stamps and all that. That's about to get cut. All of it. A lot of broke people, really. Let's just put it simply. A lot of broke people are the ones who are going to be mainly affected. Yeah, a couple of rich people or people who are doing all right, who they ain't got their government jobs no more, but mainly it's going to be the poor and disenfranchised that are affected. It happened because they couldn't come to an agreement on this bill that they're trying to push through or get passed, right? And basically, the Republicans are claiming that the Democrats just want to give a bunch of health care to illegal immigrants, and the Democrats are saying that's not even true, which it's not true. Like that, the problem with what they're doing is they're saying stuff like we can't fact check it, y'all. I swear that's the only issue that I have that is recurring, and it just bothers me so much, is that y'all act like we can't prove y'all wrong. But yes, the one side is saying that y'all just want to throw up a bunch of money at illegal aliens. The other side is saying, no, y'all just want to help billionaires stay rich. And I'm leaning towards the latter. But that's what's happening. They just can't come to an agreement on this money, basically. It's money. It's always money, right? And the only reason why I want to bring up, and more importantly, why? Yeah, why? Because like I told you the why, the money, all that stuff. But now, this girl right here is why I say I'm leaning towards the latter, and it's the Republicans lying and the Democrats telling the truth. Is because she is one of the top Republicans. Marjorie Taylor Greene, this girl I'm about to show you right here, is one of the top Trump supporters. Anything Trump says is good, it's right. The second her kids, her children, their insurance premiums are about to double as a result of what the Republicans are trying to do. The Democrats don't want to, the Republicans are the ones trying to do. Now her kids are about to be affected. Now all of a sudden she's standing up. Now all of a sudden she's saying this isn't right. Now all of a sudden everything's wrong, right? Okay, cool. I'm gonna play like a minute or two of this interview with her to show you what I mean, right?
One of the most controversial members of Congress, Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, usually draws the ire of Democrats, but now she's speaking out against some in her own party and coming out in favor of what Democrats demand to reopen the government, an extension of enhanced health care subsidies.
Congresswoman Greene, thank you for joining us here in the Situation Room. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start there. Let's start with the shutdown. So you voted for the short-term funding bill, but now you're talking about this health care issue. Help us better understand. Why now?
Well, actually, this is something I talked about when I first ran for Congress in 2020, because I grew up in a construction company family. Bought that company after college and retired my parents. And after the ACA was passed,
the Affordable Care Act.
Yes, the Affordable Care Act, our family's health insurance premium went from $800 a month to $2,400 a month. So I've known about this as a major problem for a long time. It's not just...
And I just want to pause right there to point out something. She's talking about Obamacare, right? ACA. That was passed years ago. Like, you obviously know how long it's been since Obama has been in office. So it's been over 8 years since this bill has passed. And you see what she just said? When it happened, her family, her premium went from $800 to $2,400. So this thing that she has such a big problem with, she's realized there's been a problem for years, but yet for some reason they have yet to find a solution for this. It's such a big issue, but now you've let all this time go by and you haven't come up with a solution for said issue, right? Okay, cool. We're gonna keep it going.
ACA recipients whose premiums are going to skyrocket very soon. It has been a disaster for many Americans across the board, and cost of living is so high now. Many of my constituents, many of my friends, and even my own children are finding health insurance to be extremely unaffordable and something that they are having to go without.
And again, now you hear what she said, cost of living is high, her close friends and her own children. That's the main thing. When it was all these poor people that were getting messed over, when all these immigrants are getting shipped up, packed up, and sent out, when all these black people are getting illegally detained in their house because the ICE is looking for immigrants and other residences and all that. All this is going on, and it's affecting people that don't got nothing to do with her. But the second something affects her and her kids, now all of a sudden she's sitting down going against Trump. And again, also what Nick was saying on the campaign trail, or not even on the campaign trail, to this day, and since he's been in office, is everything has gone down. All the prices are great. Everything's perfect. And you hear what she says. Not true. Cost of living is up. Health insurance is going up. Things are not looking good, right? They're not. Okay. And again, like I said, I just wanted to point that out because it's only when her kids are affected that she wants to say something. And now it's a couple other things that she did that I definitely have to point out that a large part of the Republicans and Trump supporters in general is their unwavering, undying loyalty to him. Sometimes it gets to a point where it's too much, right? And you start to think, let me just go ahead and play it for y'all. Because one of the talking points and one of the things that was repeatedly brought up during the campaign trail, and let me find this thing. I should have just sent them. Oh, there we go. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, cool. Playlist. Everybody was talking about the racism of the country as a whole. Is this country racist? Is Trump racist? Blah, 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 blah. Right? Now, the issue is anybody trying to refute that is that y'all treat the country like it's racist, right? Y'all treat Trump like he's massa, right? Like, y'all, again, how do you honestly expect me not to call the country racist when y'all treat the country like it's a slave planet, when y'all treat Trump like he's massa, right? When y'all just say and do whatever he wants you to say and do, right? Okay, I'm sorry, I just messed up the whole program. Okay, all right, we back. All right, so this is what, and like I said, at first she was all Trump, and now she's turning her back, and this is part of the reason why. Just watch this.
Did she get a visit from 3 ghosts?
I've always been an unapologetic Trump supporter. I was one of the very few that stood with him after January 6th, fought for him all over the country, and
help him get reelected. Now, hear what she just said. After January 6th, like I said, literal insurrection. People ran up into the Capitol building. Police officers died. They destroyed, and he let all of them people just walk out of jail free, right? And she stood by him after that. Something that crazy, and she's still standing behind Trump. So again, I had to pause right there to show you how diehard she was for him before this, right? Okay, cool. Now watch.
Helped him get reelected. Spent millions of dollars out of my own campaign to do that.
Jimmy Kimmel hilarious reaction on Marjorie Taylor Greene's "not a slave" comment.
And I've also supported many great Republicans getting elected as well. But I'm not a, let's see, what's the right way to say it? I'm not a slave.
No, that wasn't the right way to say it. That was the wrong way to say it. Next time, maybe try doormat. I think it would work.
Okay, that's one, right?
First healthcare, and now this.
God, bro, why is... God, there's supposed to be a whole list of... Yeah, all right, cool.
I certainly support the president, but I'm not, what would be the right way to say it? I'm not some sort of blind slave to the president, and I don't think anyone should be.
Okay, so you hear what she said. She's not a blind slave to the president. Nobody should be, right? Obviously, nobody should be. But again, it isn't until you start getting affected that you start realizing that is exactly, and not even realizing because they've always known, but they'll only say something when it's them that gets affected. But leading up to this, before this, that's exactly what the idea that you'll actually stand by somebody who greenlit an insurrection on the Capitol. But they that is the craziest thing. They ran up into the Capitol, but they broke in, and you still stood by him and supported that. If that ain't blind slave talk, I don't know what is. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But like I said, your kids are about to start paying more. So now all of a sudden you want to stand up and say something against daddy, against Massa. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. So that's why I said, if y'all want somebody to blame for the government shutdown, it's the Republicans. And on top of that, like I said, they got the majority House, Senate, and Congress is majority. So again, it's already their fault anyway. But like I said, if y'all wanted somebody to blame, it's them. When Marjorie Taylor Greene is going, it's the Republicans. It's the Republicans, right? Okay, cool. Let's just move on. Charlie, listen. And I'm not even going to spend too much time on this too either, because I am definitely kind of late on it, and everything that's already been said has been said. The only thing I want to point out is the roles being reversed, right? If they already have been. And that's why I literally said this to one of my coworkers at my job the other day. And I asked her, how do you think I felt about it? Because she kind of knows that I get into these type of topics and stuff. And she said, I don't think you're happy. I think you felt like now y'all know how it feels. And I love that, because that is exactly how I felt. I took no jolly in this man's life being took. I got kind of an enjoyment out of the demographic of people that responded, right? These type of things are not new. People dying for their beliefs in America is the most the most, I don't want to say the most regular, right? But not unusual is the best way. But it's the most not unusual thing. And it's only thing that's unusual is the demographic that it happened to. You don't see white guys getting shot in the face for their beliefs, in the neck rather. It would have been a face shot if the dude was a professional. But as far as political violence or ideological violence, because you don't let it, that's always been happening, but to other demographics. Like I said, it's regular in the black community for a black man to stand up and get put down like a dog. But now when it's a white guy, now all of a sudden we need to, things are gone too far. All this, we can't live like this. Oh, man, stop it. Now y'all know how it feels. Like, it's, bro. And on top of that, and like I said, why that situation in particular tickles my fancy as well is because he was literally scapegoating black people on gun violence when he got shot. His talking points about gun violence is all the gang members in Chicago are doing most of the gun violence, and all the mass shootings are just gang members in these hood areas. And then that dude that shot you wasn't no gang member from Chicago. That was a home-trained, homegrown white boy. Like, again, it's so much about that situation that I just think God got a sense of humor. God got, like, bro. And to see the response for people, bro. Hold on one second. And let's just, because they're also trying to paint him as a hero, a patriot, a blah, 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 blah.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Cenk. I live as a capitalist, okay?
And also why I wanted to play this video in particular, so y'all can see my heart. I'm not about to just sit here and say everything the dude did was racist, and he was just he was a white supremacist, and he was racist. But people like on the internet will throw compilations together like this and take them out of context. This first clip was taken out of context. That he didn't call somebody chink. Or like, he's not sitting there arguing with a Chinese dude and called him chink. The dude's name is Cenk Uygur. He's another YouTuber, podcaster, whatever. He runs the Young Turks. That was his name. That's his actual name. So, but they took this and because you can't see who he's talking to, you make the assumption that he's talking to a Chinese guy and call him a chink. So again, you can see my heart. I'll be fair. He's not always saying things but these next ones are something else.
What do? I get charity every single year.
Crime, like, I'm sorry. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Because of DEI, it begs the question, when you see a black pilot, you wonder, you say, I hope they are qualified.
And now, the bigger context of these comments here is he's alleging that the reason why these are racist is because of the premise that he's speaking on this DEI from. The entire foundation of the way he's looking at it is the racist perspective of it. He's alleging that because DEI, it's made it easier for black people to get in without having the proper qualifications. He's speaking like they all do who have a problem with DEI from the assumption that it made the requirements and qualifications go down to accept more black people. You don't have to be as smart to be a pilot if you're black. You don't have to be as trained, et cetera, et cetera. That's what they're alleging. It's not true. What DEI did was make people like you and other white people say, you can't deny this man's application because he's black. He has all the same qualifications as all these recipes. You have to give him a chance. You can't just say, this application is going into the circular file because it's a nigga on there or it's because it's a woman on there. No. You're saying you have, but no, all these white dudes who are upset about that now are saying that, oh, y'all are lowering the qualifications. Y'all are just letting anybody in so you can meet a racial quota so you can make female. Again, it's not true at all. But that's the perspective he's speaking from. And that's why he's saying he's hoped to, because, again, and it's just not true. You're just mad that you're seeing black guys being pilots and you need some way to attack them.
If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, I wonder, is she there because of her excellence, or is she there because of affirmative action? It almost creates thought patterns that are not necessarily. No one really cares when it's HR managers. No one cared when it was, just kind of paper shufflers or even engineers. But now when it's like, wait, hold on a second. You're going to remove my appendix and you're a black lesbian.
Charlie Kirk. I live like a
And again, like I said, he's just racist. He's just racist and misogynistic. What does you being a black lesbian have to do with your level of intelligence, your level of skill at surgery? What does your race or your sexual preferences have to do with your skills as a doctor? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But again, like I said, the nigga's just racist. The nigga's just misogynistic. It's not no, you know what I mean? And I promise you, and I have to just mention, I should have brought that clip too. When JD Vance had the nerve to say I wish they would have played that clip too. He literally said people like Michelle Obama, Ketanji Brown Jackson, there was another one. I think it was AOC, but it was another one. They don't have the brain processing power to do the job, so you had to steal your position from a white person, right? JD Vance went on Charlie Kirk's show after he died, repeated that statement verbatim, and then say he never uttered those words, and then said what he was trying to say was, and again, JD, you think we're retarded. That's not how that works, bruh. You can't sit here and say the nigga never said X, Y, and Z, and then give an explanation to what he was trying to say. No, if you say he never said X, Y, and Z, then after that, you're supposed to say what he did say was ABC. Or you say he may have said X, Y, and Z, but what he was trying to say was. You can't sit here and say he never said the exact quote you just repeated that he said, and then give an alternative explanation of what he meant to say. You just said he didn't. You said, like, y'all, bro, I swear to God, it's retarded. Y'all just think niggas are dumb, bro. I don't think it's that y'all think niggas are dumb. I think y'all just don't care. Y'all are fully aware that y'all can say or do whatever the fuck y'all want to do, and what we gonna do about it, but sit here on our dumbass podcast on YouTube and talk about it. Yeah, bro, trust me. I know how this works. All right. Oh yeah, the killer, and then they were trying to say that his killer was even like I said, all the stuff that these high powerful people are doing in favor of is so obvious, and y'all are trying to act like it. Trying to say that this was disrespectful enough to get Kimmel kicked off the air is insane.
ABC telling NBC News that they will be taking Jimmy Kimmel's popular late night show off of the air indefinitely after comments the late night host made earlier this week about Charlie Kirk's assassination